So this is supposed to be a pretty interesting video about Threads and Twitter. So let's see how it goes.
I did something brave this week. That's right. I put on my big boy pants and I deleted TikTok off my phone.
Oh, that's good.
Big deal. But I just turned 28 and I figured it's time to start doing adult things. Like stretching and focusing on how
Jokes,
to solve
I get
global
it.
issues I have no control over. And one global issue in particular that bothers me is social media, specifically with the release of the new social media app, Threads. And if you haven't heard of it, you're probably European because you guys don't have it yet, much like air conditioning for whatever reason.
A lot of dad jokes, eh? I'm pretty sure these are jokes at least, because as much as I know, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's originally not American, but Germanistanian. So, you know.
Threads is basically posturing itself as nice Twitter, or at least a less angry Twitter. They're not trying to replace Twitter, according to some executives, which I don't believe at all, but they want to be a less angry place where you can share your thoughts in a micro-blogging format. And that call to action seems to be
So, a lot of censorship you're essentially telling me. Because the only way you get rid of anger in places like this is by rampant censorship. That's a good start.
working. Because within 5 days of the app's release, they crossed 100 million users. Which is
True,
insane
but
because the next
not
fastest
true.
company to do that was ChatGPT in 20 days. That's crazy.
That's
5 days
true.
is crazy. But they kind of cheated. Is it actually impressive? I don't know. The only way you can actually sign up for Threads is if you have an Instagram account. And
True.
over 2 billion people have an Instagram account they
That's
use.
a lot,
It's
honestly.
a one-click
Wow.
option. So basically, if you have an Instagram, it's like, do you want a Threads? And you're like, yep, and that's it. Will those people from Instagram continue to use Threads in a month, in 6 months, in a year?
No.
I don't know. Time will tell.
No.
The sign-up process was very easy, which is good for them, but also
I'm watching this after we already see the Google Trends graph where Twitter is doing fine, and there's Trends, which is kinda exactly where Twitter was trending-wise, and then it just takes a plummet. So the future of Threads is already very, very questionable just from that, honestly, because Google Trends, you know. Search rates on engines don't exactly mean a lot, honestly, but this type of way to display these statistics does show some semblance of a future.
might like inflate their early success story. For me personally, I've been using Threads because it
Of
kind of
course.
feels like an alt Twitter account. It's just less pressure. I don't have to worry about whatever I post. I posted about how I peed in a bottle and I ran into the head of YouTube Gaming, which is a true thing that I wouldn't tweet about because I usually just tweet about like events or things that, you know, I know will get likes because I'm a creator and my mind is rotted by social media.
Yeah, look at me, I'm the funky dude. Look at me how I do things differently. You're such a hero.
And on this, it's like Facebook in 2013. I don't give a shit. I'm just posting what's happening in my day. And it seems as though this did not come at a coincidental time.
True.
Right? Twitter has not exactly been doing great over the past 6 months. They've been in a lot of controversy. They had that day where the entire website didn't work because rate limits. Whole bunch of other shit that make Twitter a bad.
Didn't hear about it. Heard a lot of people who have absolutely no understanding of statistics and business and money talk about it. No one was I have not met a single person who is not literally addicted to Twitter and not sitting on Twitter for the whole day who did not who suffered from that. The average person spends 6 minutes on Twitter per day. So the rate limit or whatever it's called, not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Literally hurt no one.
Experience. But it's not just anecdotal. We can look at the data. Cloudflare reports what the biggest websites are in the world, and Twitter in January was ranked 32nd just based off traffic. And now they're 39th, which is a bit of a drop. Is that why Zuck decided to make it at the time he did? Nah.
Okay, so here we go again with the classic YouTubers, people who got millions early on, and now they can't read a single line of statistics. This line in no way represents that Twitter is actually losing. Because you need to understand what this line represents. It's not a literal line that literally only represents Twitter, right? Using a lot of literally there to appeal to the literal audience of literal 10-year-olds, by the way. 10 out of 10 move, by the way. So, this line represents pretty much the whole of the internet. AK, if some site becomes more popular than Twitter at this time, Twitter loses ranking. This site does not only represent Twitter as a whole, no, it represents Twitter versus everything. So this line moves up or down not only dependent on what Twitter does, but on what everything else in the world does. So Twitter moving down does not necessarily correlate with the fact that Twitter is going down. In fact, we have a bunch of news that Twitter is more active and whatnot. So yeah.
I don't actually think so. I mean, this drop might look bad. Maybe you could draw some conclusions from that, but I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. I think Twitter's failures aren't just related to Elon Musk. They go a lot longer back than that. Zuck believes that there's going to be a public conversations app or a microblogging app that has over 1 billion users, which I think so too. I believe that.
Probably at some point, yeah.
And although Twitter might seem like a big deal if you live in one of these countries, it's kind of a small dog in the social media landscape. I mean, if you look at like the biggest like personal social network, it's Facebook with 3 billion users. The biggest video app has 2.5 billion users. The biggest messenger app has 2 billion users. The biggest photo sharing app has 2 billion users as well. Twitter's all the way down here with 5.
Okay, so this is very bad way to represent the statistics. This is literally the world's #1 most used app. Okay? It's Facebook, okay? And Twitter is here to rank like, I don't know, 3, 6, 12, like 18, 17, 16, or maybe 20 or something, right? Oh no, you're only the world's number 15 to 20 most popular app in the world. Oh no, how terrible. Only that. Wow. Yeah, you see how instantaneously a point like this becomes extremely dumb when you actually understand what's represented in these statistics?
500 million users. So to me, it does seem like there is a place for an app that's a microblogging app to have over 1 billion monthly active users. It just seems like that is a value to society.
Also, how much do we actually care about, for example, Facebook being #1? No one cares about Facebook. Facebook literally currently is just the home of 5-minute crafts, and that's pretty much it. No one except your grandma, who's literally on death's door, cares about it anymore, okay? Let's face it, if you have a Facebook account currently, that's because you have a stalker account. Pure and simple.
And that people would want that. It's just that Twitter hasn't capitalized. And so Meta is putting their hat in the ring. And they seem like the most likely person to break 1 billion as opposed to Blue Skies, Mastodons, and Truth Socials, which are kind of like parties you show up 3 hours before they start, and that shit lame. It's a kickback. Stop calling it a party. Elon Musk is not happy about the move that Meta has made. He's kind of fuming on Twitter right now.
Fuming?
He's already asked Zuck for a cage match, and then also asked him to compare dick sizes while calling him a cuck.
I saw that. This one's great.
That I would expect a YouTuber to have. And he fall down.
Bruh, this is not a breakdown. If you have seen these tweets, this is literally perfectly in line with Elon Musk would tweet on a regular basis. He is cherry-picking cherries. Well, here's the cherry that he picked, and there's literally 1 trillion cherries exactly like that. You know? If Elon Musk suddenly said, oh, I'm actually worried about this Threads thing, it seems like then that would be big, because that would be extremely out of character for this guy. Like, dude, come on. Misrepresentation much?
That all up by threatening to sue Meta for stealing their trade secrets.
Yep. I'm not gonna go over this, but I can bet you he does not understand why they're actually getting sued. Well, I'll do the super simple version. Elon Musk fired a bunch of people who worked at Twitter. Zuck scooped literally all the trash that got fired up in his company to start this process, right? And the reason that Elon Musk is suing, because there is a good chance that Threads is built based on only internal knowledge that is accessible by their ex-employees, because of a lot of ex-employees are working at Threads now. That is the reason why this is a sue. And by the way, any company literally would do this. If you fire like your top executive and your opposing company literally scoops him up 2 days after, and a week after they have something that is extremely eerily similar to your stuff, and that executive is the one who actually made that, you're gonna get sued. Because that is considered a trade secret. That is a trade secret violation.
Called Meta a cheater. I mean, like, he kind of subtweeted a little bit, but he tweeted out, "Competition is fine, cheating is not," the same day that they sent the letter out.
Yeah, that would imply that part.
I don't know. It seems like Elon Musk is worried about the potential success of Threads. And what is Twitter's response to all this? They're just doubling down.
Obviously,
they're doubling down
yes.
on the exact same thing Elon has been doing this whole time, which is free speech, the town square. Say what you want on here.
With the way he has been speaking previously, he is very, very, very much implying that free speech is a very, very bad thing. That stuff like this should make Elon open his eyes and actually absolutely just censor everyone. Dude.
Be yourself. And being yourself right now is getting a blue check and then trying to shill crypto with your body, I guess. But
implying that will not happen in Threads or literally any other social platform. I mean, this is literally 50% of the point why social media exists nowadays.
Yourself on Twitter, do whatever you want to do, and I don't know, maybe that'll work, but it doesn't seem like it's working.
Wait, why not?
Like Twitter is growing, and now it's up to users to.
He doesn't even explain! Bruh, this is the most bad faith video I have seen. Wow! He doesn't even explain this. Bro literally is looking at, some kind of bad statistics here and oversimplifying and not understanding things. But here he's like, oh, I didn't even look up statistics, but it looks like Twitter's dying. While you can literally find user base increases month after month, week after week on Twitter. Oh boy. Oh boy.
To make a choice.
Impressive.
The thing that drives my social media actions, and I assume yours as well, is FOMO. Is everybody on Threads? Are they doing a bunch of cool shit over there? If that's the case, then I kind of want to go. There's a reason that I haven't downloaded Mastodon or Truth Social or Blue Sky. It's because nobody's there. It's been said many times, but it's like going to a party 4 hours before it starts. You're sitting there, beer in hand, at a kickback with somebody you don't know that well. It's kind of awkward, and I want to leave. But if it's a party over there, well, then don't go. And right now,
how about you get social skills and actually talk to the people there,
It's the first wave of people sussing out Threads to see if it is a party worth going to. And by a party, I mean if it is worth joining your doom scrolling session where you waste most of your day. The people that will actually make Threads worth going to are people like you and people like me, because we are the ones that make content for social media apps.
He's trying to relate to everyone. That's so cute. A literal multimillionaire trying to relate to you. Well, now, I'm saying this completely not knowing Ludwig's history, but I'm assuming this guy is from a very wealthy family. I am assuming his family is way above average in median income, okay? I am assuming this guy has not understood the world's struggle ever. Bad at maths? Well, don't worry, daddy's gonna bribe your school. Also, he most likely went to luxury schools and all of that jazz. So, yeah, appeal to the common man, okay? Nice.
It works. Meta's not making the content. They just make infrastructure for our content to live. And if we make the content good enough on Threads for all of us to enjoy, then we will probably want to hang out with each other on Threads. So we will see. Time will tell if they do well enough in infrastructure and they do well enough in call to actions that it feels like a part.
I actually did talk about this slightly in a previous video, but I do see Threads as something that the old Twitter mob would absolutely love. The completely censored Twitter where every day Trump is literally trending and it's the same literal exact people and the same exact thing. I see Threads being the home for those absolutely insane people who just want to literally make their lives about Trump, and that every time he inhales a breath of air, he is damaging the fabric of reality. I think Threads would be a perfect place for those people, because Facebook has already openly admitted that they are that they have been censoring information by the request of the government, even if this information is factually correct. They're literally narratively driven. So Threads will literally be just, again, a narrative-driven place. And if you really, really like that, if you're insane and mentally unhinged, yeah, Threads could be potentially your new playground, where your extremism will be welcomed.
Party, and we're making the party fun enough that we want to stick around. And on one hand, I kind of like the idea of a not-so-mean Twitter. I really like Twitter. It's my most used social media app, but there's a lot of problems with it. The most important one to me is Twitter Blue. I don't give a shit that Elon Musk is trying to make money. I just care that Twitter Blue comments are pushed to the top. It kind of feels like browsing Reddit, but all the comments are filtered by Reddit Gold instead of what's the most upvoted. That would make it a miserable experience. I don't want to pay to...
Reddit is a miserable experience by default. I don't know.
Win. I want somebody who says something smart that everybody else agrees with, so I can feel smart when I read it. That's.
Also, by the way, I have seen people be the top commenters without Twitter Blue. Not really an issue. And by the way, I'm pretty sure this video dropped before Twitter announced their first payouts for Twitter creators, which means no person with a large following is moving to Threads. They're just making a Threads account at the best situation, okay? Because some people got paid like upwards of 10K. I mean, if you're getting paid even 1K to shit post on Twitter, dream come true, baby. If I'm getting paid $200 a month to shit post on Twitter, bruh, why would I go to Threads, where my opinion may actually literally vanish into ether because it's just not the right opinion that the mods currently want to happen. And Twitter Blue comments are at the top mostly, but this is also very hugely false equivalency, by the way, in a lot of cases. Because the thing is, Twitter Blue users, a lot of them, at least the people who have literally hundreds of thousands of followers, have Twitter Blue. And people with hundreds of thousands of followers are gonna get the most likes and retweets and comments and all of that. And they have Twitter Blue.
That's the whole point, I feel like, of commenting and replying in an entire public town discourse. It also feels like most of Twitter's interactions are based around, quote, retweets, which instead of having a conversation with somebody, it's like saying, hey, look, guys, look at this big fucking dumb idiot. Anyway, here's what I think about this idiot. Do you agree? Which just creates...
Yeah, that's pretty normal, and that is, by the way, literally gonna be the same way it works on any social media ever, by the way. I like how he is taking a thing that happens on Twitter and making it, like, unique to Twitter per se, but it's not actually unique. It literally happens in every single other social media app that currently exists. Yeah, people retweet, people take other people's... It's just how it works, dude. Do you think Threads are honestly gonna be different? What was Twitter before Elon Musk different? No, it wasn't. It was literally the exact same behaviors.
More toxicity and division. And then the final thing that I used to think Twitter was valuable for, and I would delude myself into thinking I was not wasting my time, is news. Yeah, it is true that the trending section can keep you hip to things happening around the world, but does it actually matter? Is it helpful to me? Does it matter that I've learned about a submersible and how that shit implodes? Does it matter that I know about Jonah Hill's private text conversations? Should I care that Tucker Carlson interviewed Andrew Tate? Doesn't change what I'm going to do today. Doesn't change.
Then news is just literally useless to you. Like, yeah, Tucker Carlson has interviewed a bunch of people now. And legacy I don't know what kind of media he wants. Legacy media is literally only talking about how Tucker Carlson currently is unraveling the fabric of reality and killing all of us. Everyone who is not legacy media is talking about this and making videos. I don't... Is news completely useless? Are you saying that? Or what's the problem here? Because everyone's doing it. Again, he's just taking things that happen on Twitter and literally everything else and saying that this is like an exclusive Twitter thing.
What I'm going to do this week, this month, this year. All it does is distract my mind from the things I should actually be worried or care about. My local community, all right? The people around my life who I love.
Don't lie.
My audience who watches. Those are things that are more important than worrying about things that I cannot control. If you click this video wondering if you should even try it.
But then don't use social media. It's so simple. You just delete Twitter, you just delete Threads. I don't know how lukewarm, stupid you need to be to think that Threads is going to be different. Well, is Threads? Do you expect people in Threads to only talk about your local friend group, or like your local community? This is delusion at its finest.
Out Threads, you should realize your attention is a commodity, and these billionaires are at war for it. I'm a part of this problem. My entire job is to keep you on this website longer. And I'd like to think that sometimes I give you points that you can resonate with or insights that are valuable to your life. But that's not always the case. Most of the time, that's not the case.
Is this supposed to be
Sometimes I make videos
deep?
about huge ego drama. Stuff I have to explain the context of for you to even pretend to care about for 10 minutes and then forget about the next day. And I make
Yeah, because it's fun. That video actually sounds like fun. What's the problem with fun here? I don't get it.
make these videos because I'm incentivized by YouTube. It's become a game. I need to get a 1 of 10. I need to get the most people watching my videos for the longest amount of time possible. And if I do, then I make Big Papa YouTube more money, and they'll break me off a bigger piece of the pie. But I don't want to just be another distraction and the amusement to death we are all suffering from.
Bruh, if he had a single shred of virtue, he would contact he would contact the CEO of YouTube, because Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, did an interview with him where he literally asked 0 meaningful questions. He was literally sucking her clitoris penis. That's all that was. He had a shot, and guess what he did? Nothing. It's all just a bunch of useless virtue signaling at the end of the day.
Now with another player in the game like Threads. And I know I can be a cool distraction. I'm a part of a lot of your morning routines. I'm in your lunch break right now. Maybe I'm on your TV with some family or friends or loved ones around the room. That's cool. I like doing that.
Jesus
But
Christ.
I'd like to do it in a way where the things I say matter more the next day, the next week, and the next month. I don't want to just be 10 minutes of another thing you are watching.
You know what's the irony of him saying that? He's a literal multi-millionaire. He has every single option available to him to actually do it. But he doesn't.
That you'll forget about, and you doom scroll away the rest of your life. I want the time that I steal from you to be more valuable. And right now, I'm just a self-aware hypocrite who's not doing that. So let's answer the big question. Should you even be using Threads?
No.
Threads right now is in a honeymoon phase where they don't care about making money. They just care about getting as many people on the website as possible, which makes it a pretty cool product to use.
Huge misunderstanding of Zuck's business model. He wants you to be on Threads because that's just one more place where he can... Has he not seen the thing about Threads? If you accept an account to Threads, you are literally allowing Zuck to like listen in on everything you say. You know, you're pretty much just a Bitcoin mining machine for Zuck at this point. If you accept Threads. Oh, also he hasn't actually mentioned anything about the funny fact that if you make a Threads account, you can only delete it if you delete your Instagram with it. Which is hilarious.
They don't have any of the problems I listed with Twitter. There's no trending page. They don't have any Twitter blue issue. There's no real quote retweet.
That's a misunderstanding. This is an actual misunderstanding. He probably doesn't know this, but Twitter doesn't have these things because it's unfinished. Zuck literally chose... Again, this video is like 2 days old or something like that. Zuck chose to launch Threads faster than... It's like... let me check the calendar here. July... Yeah, Zuck wanted to launch this Threads like months from now. Threads is not finished. He just literally looked at the fact that Elon Musk limited how many tweets you can see per day, and thought, "Oh my God, this is the genius chance of me doing it. I'm gonna take over Twitter because Elon Musk just absolutely destroyed anything," which is the most stupidest thing ever. If you have worked in a business in a high position or adjacent even to a high position, you know one thing, that not a single number like that is chosen randomly. I talked about this again in another video, but the whole bitrate limiting thing, or whatever, post reading limiting thing that Elon Musk did, was to push Twitter blue. In reality, it literally did not affect anyone. It did not affect a single average person. Because again, the average person spends 6 minutes a day on Twitter, and that statistic is from the height of the pandemic. I spent roughly 15 minutes a day on Twitter, and I was still absolutely fine without no Twitter blue, and I never was probably close to reaching the limit of the posts that I could view. This was just a problem for people who literally spend hours on Twitter, aka the 0.01 percenters. And that was supposed to force them to buy Twitter Blue. It didn't affect anyone else. And Zuck was such an idiot that he thought that, "Oh, Elon Musk is just choosing these numbers at random. Now no one on Twitter..." Elon Musk has all the data. He knows exactly how long an average person spends on Twitter by age group. And when I say age group, it's literally segregated to 17, 18, 19, 20, that far. He knows which age group watches what at the highest peak, what they click on. He has all this data. And Zuck just said, "Oh, Elon's destroying Twitter because he probably chose these numbers at These people are too stupid to understand that. Those numbers are not randomly chosen. Not a single number when it comes to actions like this is randomly chosen in a big business."
Toxicity, but that could all change. We've seen it so many times where tech companies make an awesome product that everybody loves, only to change and ruin the entire thing when it's their turn to make money. It's happening right now with Twitter, Uber, Reddit, and it will probably happen with Threads at some point. So should you add this to your daily routine only for it to be ruined in a year? I don't know. It's your call to make. But I'm not going to be the one to tell you to use Threads. I don't feel comfortable telling you to take a bet on a guy whose social media site can turn your suburban mother into a cult follower, like with QAnon and Facebook. I don't feel comfortable telling you to take a bet on a guy whose social media site is in part the cause of the Rohingya genocide, something that Meta admitted they did not do enough to stop sowing hatred against the Rohingya people. I do not feel comfortable telling you to take a bet
I have no idea what that is.
on a guy who can go behind your back and sell all of your information to influence the outcome of an election, only for their punishment to be a fine. $725 million? Yeah, it's a lot of money. They also spent $36 billion on the metaverse. So it doesn't feel like they have a shortage of money to burn.
True.
To me, it feels kind of weird that a company can just break the law and pay a penalty to continue breaking the law. And I don't know if I want to tell you to use the app of the guys who can do that. And just a little food for thought, Meta products are being used by over 3.7 billion people worldwide. All right? They own Instagram. They own WhatsApp. They own Facebook. And now if they were to own the largest social...
That's a cute number, but by the way, keep in mind this number works like this. If you have a Facebook, that's 1. If you have a WhatsApp, that's 2. If you have a second Facebook, that's 3. If you have an Instagram, that's 4. If you have a second Instagram, that's 5. So potentially this number could be anywhere from 2 to, I don't know, 5+ times lower in actuality, because they all of these companies do it the same way. It's like this is what YouTubers do with like social media marketing companies and whatnot. For example, someone's gonna say, "Oh, this person has a following of like 5 million, let's say," And the reality is, he has two, like, for example, 3 million followers on YouTube, 1 million on Facebook, 1 million on Twitter, and so on. And these people overlap. So this number is 100% fraudulent, and it is less than it actually is. Maybe a third less if I'm being real, but that's just a guesstimate. Do not quote me on that one.
Social micro-blogging site in the world, and they get another billion people there, that would be over half the world using Meta products. Over half the world in which we fully rely on Meta's moderation to not cause more genocides or cults or user breaches of data. Look, I have doubts that we should even have social media at all, at least in its current state. But I'm very confident that Twitter or Threads is probably not a valuable part of a daily routine for me or probably most of you guys watching. Anyway, that's all I got. Hopefully this was valuable. See you guys later. Have a good one. Goodbye. See you later.
It was an interesting video, not gonna lie. No wonder I got told to watch this. This is pretty. This was fire. This was stupid. This felt so disingenuous. These takes felt like it's like, okay, I'm gonna Google search something and put the first thing I find. It's just 10 out of 10. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Anyway, this is Cruiser. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye bye.